Tomorrow is the day. On Tuesday, January 14th at noon, the South Carolina General Assembly will officially convene in Columbia for the start of the 2025 legislative session. But did you know that hundreds of pieces of legislation were pre-filed in early December? I'm Brittany Burton, and this is your advocacy update from the Tri-County Chamber. It's January 13th, 2025. In the South Carolina State Legislature, pre-filing is the process where lawmakers submit bills and resolutions before the official legislative session begins. This allows bills to be reviewed, assigned to committees, and prepared for discussion when the session starts. Now, many of these pre-filed bills will never receive any traction. Sometimes lawmakers file bills as a means to declare an issue that is important to them or their constituents, but they know it will never get enough support to move forward. We saw our fair share of those. Today, I'm going to cover just a few of the pre-filed bills that are likely to be big topics relevant to business and the Tri-County Chamber legislative agenda this session. First, House Bill 3021, known as the Small Business Regulatory Freedom Act, aimed to reduce the regulatory burdens on businesses, would set up a review committee to examine regulations with the intent of reducing regulatory requirements by 25%. This bill has been referred to the Committee on Labor, Commerce, and Industry. Next is House Bill 3479, which would establish the Skills-Based Hiring Act. It aims to remove barriers to employment and address workforce shortages. This bill creates an expedited professional licensing process for out-of-state license holders, allowing individuals with valid licenses from other states to more easily obtain South Carolina licenses. It also authorizes the Department of Labor, Licensing and Regulation to recognize qualified apprenticeships as an alternative pathway to obtaining occupational licenses. This bill has also been referred to the Committee on Labor, Commerce, and Industry. And as expected, tort reform and liquor liability are returning topics this session. House Bills 3497 and 2534, along with Senate Bill 133, were pre-filed to address these issues, highlighting their continued importance to both chambers due to their significant impact on insurance costs. We'll get more into detail when further action is taken on them. For now, they have been sent to the Judiciary Committee. Next is Senate Bill 47, aimed at supporting and incentivizing childcare workforce development and employer-supported childcare programs by expanding childcare tax credits for employers who establish childcare programs for their employees, as well as introducing a new refundable tax credit for full-time childcare directors and staff members working at a licensed facility. Lastly, and potentially one of the biggest pieces of legislation this session, is House Bill 3309, known as the South Carolina Energy Security Act. This bill includes multiple key provisions designed to support economic development, modernize the state's energy infrastructure, and ensure reliable and affordable electricity. All the pre-filed bills can be found on the State House website, and links to learn more about each of the bills I mentioned today can be found in the email where you got this video. We'll be keeping you up to date on the progress of this legislation and others that could impact your business throughout the session. I'm Brittany Burton, and this has been your advocacy update from the Tri-County Chamber.